Hello, this is Christian Kahn presenting an 8051 Trojan project for hardware security at the University of Central Florida. Got two Trojans for you today. The first one is a fairly simple one. It utilizes a struct.vhdl file, and what that does is after implementing the hello world file, it skips the output of the hello world by switching the inputs and the outputs and creating an infinite loop within the struct file. So it outputs just zeros while the memory dumps stay correct. The second Trojan is quite a bit more complex, utilizes a large for loop that counts through a huge number. After the number runs out, it will call a different inc.h file, and the inc.h file increases the clock speed as well as the word size. And what happens is when that ends up running and we try to import our numbers and our hello world, it will run through the system many times, and as you can see, crashes the system. I hope you enjoy. For the first Trojan on the 8051, I embedded it inside of the control struct.vdh. It is quite simple. It's actually just a switch of some of the input and output controls. So what happens is the memory dump occurs the same, but the output does not. So if we see here, if I'm going to go through average process, our button 1, we get our all zeros. Now if I want to do a memory dump, here we go. We actually do see the typical 70, 30, 48. This is what happens with the typical memory dump. If I try to program the hello.bin file in here and switch this back to 1, I do open it, it's transmitting, go back to 0, and it keeps transmitting zeros. It will not transmit the hello.bin. Simply because the inputs and outputs have been rerouted by the Trojan. For the second Trojan, I specifically added a very, very large for loop in here that pretty much does nothing but counts, and at the end of it, it goes to a different inc.h file, which I just named incdeth.h. In the inc file, specifically, I changed a few of the parameters so that there would not have good effects. The first parameter would be the word length is set to 64, and the perimeter clock is set to 50 or 500,000, which is a significant order of magnitude above what it's originally set at. So the whole point of this is that when going through the system, it counts through and has a bit of counting. After it counts through, it hits the death file. Once it gets to the death file, things go a little haywire, and we can crash the terminal. It seems like that is what's going to happen. So we'll check it out. Go to our terminal. We're all connected here. I can just transfer my zeros. I can transfer my my memory dump, but let's program the bin file in here. Okey-dokey. And we'll see what happens when we get this going. And it is, right now it's not responding. And it's going and going and going. And continuing to go. And continuing to loop. And still not responding. And now it's gonna just start going, and it'll either stop or crash. I have absolutely no control of the mouse at this point. And it just stopped. Didn't crash, but went through quite a few sequences there. We see multiple of the hello worlds here, some more memory dumps, and random numbers and letters. Let's see here. If we go down a little bit. Right here, there's a C0. A little bit higher, we get an FE. And yeah, we're FC's over here on the right hand side. And it just went haywire with that. So, there you go.